So if you want to do interactive things in Excel, you can insert something like this, which is a scroll bar from the developer tab. There are many things. From interactivity perspective, there is spinner, there is scroll bar, and there is checkbox. So 3 things. All of them control a cell. Right now it is not looking very nice because this cell is not linked to anything. But here the cell is linked to a chart. So whenever you have a situation where you have a what if analysis thing, there are some inputs, there are some assumptions, and then you want to see, okay, if interest rate moves from 3 to 5, how will my profitability change? Or if economy goes up or down, GDP changes, then how will interest rate change? Whatever. So the assumptions or input parameters customers or business guys want to play with, saying if this goes up, what will happen? If cost of production goes down, how will it affect me? Like that they want to do. So any input parameter, play with it. This is what if analysis, sensitivity analysis. Is it a new feature? No, absolutely not. Okay, now one more question. Suppose this is a pie chart. Okay, I copy this and I want to present it in PowerPoint. Easy. Very often we copy from Excel, paste in PowerPoint. Very nice. We go to PowerPoint. Now notice the colors. These are these colors, purple, red, green, whatever. Have you noticed that when you copy something from Excel and paste it into PowerPoint, the color change?
Yeah.
You like it, don't like it?
Yeah.
Nobody likes it. Correct? Does Microsoft know that people don't like it?
Actually, it has the option for paste.
I know, but by default, many things have options. But now if there are 5 ways of pasting, Microsoft has to choose the default. What do they choose as default? Something which people want. And this option nobody wants. Everyone hates it. Correct? So why did Microsoft change a default which people hate? That is the question. There is a developer sitting in Microsoft who has decided we will do something which irritates people. As a developer, why do you want to irritate 1 billion users? There has to be a question, right? Yeah, there has to be logic. What is the use case? So why are they doing something which irritates people? So in many cases, you will see that whenever you are working on Office, some things which happen irritate you. I give you another example of irritation. Do you use pivot tables?
Yep.
Everyone understands what, even if you don't use it, do you understand what is pivot table or no? Okay, everyone is not saying yes, so this is not a good demo. Okay, I'll show you another one which is equally irritating. Suppose I do something, I want numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What do I do?
Just
Type 1 and drag. It doesn't work. Not only it doesn't work, that irritating icon comes. Have you seen that before? Of course, everyone has seen this guy before. Anybody likes it? Nobody likes it. Everyone hates it. This is another example of common irritation in Office. Does Microsoft know people get irritated with it? Absolutely. Because this feature is there for 18 years. Nothing new. So in spite of knowing that users are irritated, they have kept that feature. How easy it is to remove that feature? Very easy. They just change the code, next update, automatic, no problem, gone. They could have done it any day. 15 years, they have not done it. So why does Microsoft irritate people? I give you 2 examples already. If you want to know one more example, I will give you pivot table example as well, just to complete the situation. So this is just some data, never mind what it is. I create a pivot table. No problem. then I put something, I put something, I put something. Now let me just put. Now I want some calculation, let's say 5% tax. Okay, so I need a formula here. So I put 5% here, the tax, and then I want to put a formula here which will say B4 multiplied by E5%. The problem is the moment you go inside, this guy comes. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Nobody understands what this is, nobody likes this guy. So what is the reaction? Press escape. Manually type. Agreed? It will work, no problem. But nobody knows when I try to go inside pivot table and try to put a formula, why does this get pivot data thing come? Irritating. So I give you 3 irritating examples. Not a single of them is a new feature. Why is Microsoft keeping it?
So they can fix it in 2015.
7 upgrades have come. They have not removed it. There are no interest, no plan also to remove it. Isn't that a customer satisfaction issue? So think from Microsoft's point of view. They know it is bad. They know people don't like it. Still they keep it. They're taking the risk of irritating 1 billion customers. Why are they taking that risk? There must be a reason. Come on, quick. The reason is this.
People may need to know the reference of this.
No. The reason is this is a design which is green in color. I have many other slides there. So I have a slide called agenda. That looks green and my agenda looks black. If I insert some diagram there, for example, let's say I put a diagram, analysis, design, development, testing. I want to convert a diagram. Of course, I hope you know you can convert it to a diagram like this. You can change colors like this. So this template has its own color combinations. Agreed? Every design has different color combinations, right? So if I change this to this one, all the colors will change to match. So now the issue is I already have a nice looking presentation. Everything color wise is matching. And then I suddenly decide that I want to add a new chart which is already there in my Excel file. Where was that? This one. Obviously these colors are different. So when I copy this and paste it into PowerPoint, it matches the local colors so that it looks like a part of the presentation. It doesn't look like it has come from some other planet. And right now it is using the current color combination. If I change the theme, it will change automatically. Whatever you do, it will match with the surroundings. So your presentation looks consistent. If you had not done that, what would happen? Suppose I had not done that. I don't like the fact that this guy is green and all that. So I insist by doing what? Keep source formatting. Now, right now you seem to be happy. But the moment you change, it's not going to look like others. If I go to this purple one, notice everything else has changed. The diagram has changed, but your chart is now looking bad. That is the purpose. Logically, users would have liked to retain the color, but because earlier it was that way, every presentation looks so different. because some data comes from here, some data comes from there, everyone uses different colors and the whole output is non-professional. So to make it happen, they chose an irritating default. But actually it is good for users. Understand the concept? So now the concept which is underlying this is called colors. What do you mean by that? Let me show you. Create a simple presentation first. Let's take blank black and white presentation. I type the word danger. Okay. Now I'm going to copy the word danger. Nothing great right now. I'm just copying it. Exactly same. Now I'm going to go here and change the font color. I'm going to change the font color. Let me choose a theme which is a little useful to us. Just give me a minute. So whenever you go to change any color, you will notice that there are two types of colors. You notice that? Theme color and standard color. Which one do you use normally? Why?
Because I need to make the what we talk is about the branding and design. And how
That is provided you have created a custom theme for your own company. Most people don't do that. In that case, theme color or standard color? The answer is we don't know, we don't care. Correct? Whatever you feel like you choose, it doesn't matter. If it did not matter, why did Microsoft give two colors? To confuse you or to help you?
To help in order for the color to fit the theme.
So never mind. Danger has to be shown in red color, so I choose red color. But remember, this is theme color. Just to show you the difference, this particular text box, I again use red color, but from standard color. Right now they are looking exactly same, almost same, never mind. Now I change the design. See what is happening? So in some cases, the word danger may even be shown in green. That is the difference between standard color and theme color. When you choose standard color, the RGB value of that color is hard-coded in the file. When you choose a theme color, the position of the color is hard-coded in the file. So what is theme? It's a collection of 10 colors. So if you choose this, it doesn't remember it is gray color, it says position number 10. So in this particular theme, position number 10 happens to be gray in color. Okay. So if I change the design to something else which has a completely different theme, theme means what? A collection of 10 colors. So here the 10th color is purple. So my danger is purple. So what is the benefit? If you have multiple presentation and you keep copy pasting from here to there, if you hard code the color, it will look bad. If you use theme color, it will auto adjust like I showed for Excel. Even within PowerPoint, it will accept. But that means we should never use standard color. It's always good to use theme because it's versatile. It automatically adjusts, which is good. So now that you know the difference, which one should you use, theme or standard? Obviously, it seems like theme is good. So now if always theme was to be used, why is Microsoft giving you standard color? They should have only given theme color. If it is good for the world, only give that option. Why confuse people by giving the standard one?
In case you need any color to be permanent.
So I want danger to be red. So if the color has a meaning, then you use standard color. If color is a part of aesthetics, then you use theme color. Now you understand the concept? Unfortunately, this sentence is not written in help file. This sentence is not written in any book. Maybe it is written in the book, but nobody reads books on Office because they think they know Office. Because they think they know Office. Understand the concept? So this was irritation number 1. What was the second irritation I showed you? The Excel one, 1111, correct? So let's look at this guy. Now, whatever it does when you drag is the default action. If you don't like the default action, Microsoft wants to tell the user, it's okay if you don't like, I am also capable of doing non-default actions. So how does it tell you that? So to tell you that I am capable of doing more, it shows that icon. So that icon is Microsoft's way of telling you that if you don't like what happened just now, click on me, I will tell you what else I can do for you. So non-default options are exposed through that irritating icon. Understand the concept now? Now if they had not put the icon, the world would never have a chance to understand that there are other options also. Agreed? But world is so dumb that in spite of the icon coming, they have not understood there are more options because they started hating it on day 1. Nobody clicked on it. So why is Microsoft still keeping it? Because everyone dislikes it. You dislike it little, every day anger goes up. Maybe on some trigger day, you out of frustration and anger, you will click on it and you will benefit from it. That is why they have kept it. Do you understand how much thinking goes inside? That is called how you develop a great product. Just get user specs, do something, do a UAT, never do stress testing, do a copy paste of user manual and go to next project. That is not called development. If you want to understand how a great product is created, you can also apply the same logic, same principle, same user focus. Office is the best product in the world for that. So the third thing was what? Where was that? Why do I have so many windows? Yes, the pivot table. Now notice what is happening. Suppose I want to refer to this value, whatever this is, BMJ 133198, somewhere else. What will I do? Equal to, I'll go and do this. But this guy comes, I don't like it. I will manually put the value, forget the tax right now. So I will do a direct reference to it by saying equal to, what is this? B6. Easy? Done. Now let me just push this guy below a little. Okay, no problem. This is this value. Now, if I don't want to do this, it is forcing me to use this formula. I never typed this. Automatically it is coming. That means it's almost forced on you. It is saying, please use me. Now you have two choices. You can press enter or you can press escape. If you press enter, it is like accepting Microsoft's advice. If you press escape, it is saying don't irritate me. 99.9% people press escape and manually type the formula like I showed before. This time let us press enter and see why is Microsoft doing this. The answer is still same. So this is the function called get pivot. So what is the big deal? Both are giving same reason. Agree? Right now no difference. Now I say okay, I filter. Now what happens? Because I filtered, the rows will reduce. Now what is this guy telling you? It's giving me whatever number comes by mistake, by accident in B whatever. It doesn't care whether it is the right thing or wrong thing. Whereas this guy is telling you that you were looking for amount for buyer name equal to BMJ. That guy is not visible in pivot table now, so I will not show you the number because that number does not exist. So if you had used this formula, you would get a wrong result and you will not even know that the result is wrong. Are you understanding the difference? Okay, so let's remove the filter and see what happens. Now we are back to square one. Now what do we have? We have something, buyer name in row labels. Suppose I move this to column, all the buyers will go horizontal, correct? This guy is now giving you 0 because it is helpless, it doesn't care what you are doing. Whereas this guy is telling you the answer still. Got it? Now let's do even more complex stuff. I put buyer name here, but before buyer name I put date. So what will happen? All sorts of complicated things will happen. This guy is giving you wrong result. This guy is giving, or rather telling you, that I cannot produce what you want. Understand? Another thing, if we change this layout to buyer name here and date there, this guy understands, it will still give you this. So if it can, it will always give guaranteed accuracy. If it can't, it will tell you that there is an error. Whereas a direct reference has no logic, no intelligence. It blindly gives you hard-coded cell range. That is the difference. So if you want reference to a cell in data area of pivot table, the recommended method is get pivot data. That is written in help file, but nobody is going to go to help file and use it. And even if you use it, the syntax of get pivot data is a little complex. That's why Microsoft is automatically generating that syntax. So what is the syntax? Get pivot data. Which is the data column? Amount. Where is the pivot table? Is the top left cell A5, but it could be any cell in the pivot table. Safest is the top left. That's all. Now it's saying field called buyer name, item in the field called BMJ. That's how the syntax is. You can have a pair of field this, item this, field this, item this. So just to show you, if I have another one here, notice the syntax now. What is the syntax? It has become more complex. We know amount, we know pivot table, buyer name equal to DJV and date equal to this. So if you have 4 things on the row, 4 things in column, and you go to a small cell, it will have 8 pairs of fields and items. You don't have to worry, it is automatically generated. Understood the concept? No user understands get pivot data. So very often they are actually wasting time manually changing formulas to refer to the correct cell, or worse, they don't even know the results are wrong. So what is the conclusion? I show you 3 demos of 3 irritating things. What is the conclusion? Correct? So if you find anything irritating, use it because it's good for you. Simple rule of office. Maybe you can apply this rule in real life also, but I am only going to talk about office. Okay, good. So now another, because you are all technical people. So let's do this. Which version of Office do you all use? (2013) how many? Okay, 10. Everyone else? 2010? Okay. So now we'll see from 2007, 2010, 2013. I'm sure all of you have seen all these versions. Have you counted the number of features? So I will tell you approximately. What do I mean by features? I'm not talking about VBA. I'm talking about only buttons, tools, options, functions in Excel, user-oriented features, not developer-oriented features. I'm not talking SharePoint. I'm only talking Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, OneNote, 5 products only. If you take Visio project, it is even more, but never mind. The question is, how many do we use? So forget about others. You tell me how many you use. Yeah.
Control A.
So if we make a list, maybe not 10, 10 is too little, already we finished 8, but maybe 50. 50? 50 is good? 50 is good, okay. Now, when new version comes, what should happen? 1000 more features were added. You were using 50, you got new version. Correct. It's not going to increase at all. But forget that. Let's talk about the current base version first time. You are using 50. You know there are more features. It's not that you don't know. Correct? So mentally, how do you look at it? Not this, sorry. So how do we look at Office? It's not all the 7000, that will require many slides, but it's just a sample. Even here we don't know all. So we know that we don't know remaining ones. Agreed? Now if it was .NET or SQL Server or Windows Server or SCCM or something like that, you would go and look at every option. Because that is your core subject. You like that product, you get paid for that product. Correct? Office is not your main product, so you stop looking at it. Am I right? He wants you to sit here, please come. So we know that we don't know, but we have zero curiosity when it comes to Office. But your core product, technical product, you have a lot of curiosity. So we stop looking at it. Look there. So this is your 10, 50, 20, whatever number is there. So now new version comes, you have more buttons. So now that number 50 should increase, remain same or decrease. Only 3 options available. What happens? Does it increase, remain 50 or go less than 50? Yes. So 50 becomes 40. Correct? Because you can't find whatever little you knew also, that also you can't find. Agreed? So you get frustrated because Microsoft is confusing you by not showing you the menu in a place you wanted it to be. Then you hate the product. After a little bit of trial and error, you will find the menu. But now you already hate the product. So you are not going to learn the remaining 8000 features. You are just going to find what you know and then rest of it gone. You are never going to look at it. Understand the problem? And miracle is that whatever little 50 you know, all your work happening. No problem. Whatever required, happening. So what happens? We think I already know Office. It doesn't matter how many features Microsoft made, that is their problem, not my problem. My problem already solved. I already know bold, italic, underline, file, open, save, all my work happening. And I'm not an Office trainer. I'm a developer. I'm IT pro, whatever. My job is different. My job is not Office. So, what do we do about the things we don't know? We don't care. You assume it is useless. Who wants to know what we don't want to know? So we say, no, Microsoft made something not for me. Done. So now Microsoft also has developers like you sitting there. How does programming happen? How does programming happen? You don't just go and start writing code, correct? There has to be a purpose for writing the code. So what happens in any case? There is some need, request, use case, business requirement, problem from business side, user request, wish list, whatever. Then some analyst goes and understands what can be done. Then you try to find the answer, build it into something, and then it become a feature. This is what all of you do. Microsoft has done this 8,000 times. So that's why there are 8,000 features. But now a particular feature they created for someone. That person asked for it. Microsoft gave it. That person is happy. But remaining 1 billion people don't know who is this guy, why was that feature asked for, where is the use case. When you open the product, as a user, you see features made for different kinds of people over 20 years. You don't know why they are there. Technically, every feature has to have a purpose, but you don't know the purpose. And you don't care, so you don't find out. But every feature has to have a purpose. There is no dummy button where you click and nothing happens. There is no such button, right? Something happens. So, what we are seeing is feature first. We don't know what happened behind in Redmond in the system analyst room. So now we say, I don't care, I don't need. Agreed. But suppose you say, okay, this is a feature, this feature solves some problem, let me find out what problem it is solving. So you go backwards and try to find the original need. And then you ask yourself, do I have that need? If you don't have that need, then you don't use the feature. That's okay. But if you have that need, you already found solution for your need. If you had ignored that feature, your need would still be there, but lifelong you will never find the answer. The answer is sitting in front of you every day. Understand the issue? Now, why is Microsoft not publishing the use case? They can say, this is the use case, this is the feature, this is the use case, this is the feature, 8,000. Why are they not publishing it? There is nothing confidential about it because the request came from user. They don't have to publish source code. They don't have to publish the object model. Anyway, it is published, but nothing confidential in saying this is what the request came and this is the result of that as a feature. Why are they not doing it? Isn't it logical? Then user can search in the use case and say, oh, this is what I need. What is the solution? Easy, no? But they have not done it. Why? Because 8,000 features must have originated from 20,000 use cases. Who is going to read a 20,000 page document? And second thing, this product has been evolved over 25 years. I don't know for sure, but I think in early days, Microsoft also was a small software company, not so sophisticated and structured. So maybe early stages, they don't even have the use cases now. Possible? When you are growing fast, you are working on delivery fast. You are not working on documentation quality. So maybe. Anyway, it's not available. So it's your job to look at every feature, assume it has some benefit, check where does it become useful, and then see is it for me. That way of thinking is called efficiency. How many features he knows, how many features she knows, that's not called efficiency. The way you look at the product and try to benefit from it is called efficiency. Understand the concept, difference? Okay, so with that in mind, I show you some examples. Now let's say, what should I show you? Now you tell me, which product do you use commonly? I show you demos on that. Oh, it's already 8 o'clock. OneNote? Okay. So, OneNote. Let's say, everyone use OneNote, correct? Everyone knows at least what is OneNote. Okay, so I show you some nice things about OneNote. You are sitting with user, system analysis. Users keep on talking long things and then you write one sentence because it's so boring. But if you don't capture that, later on there is a dispute. Customer says, no, this is not what I said. Sometimes when you are discussing in a meeting, you don't capture every sentence. You don't have time to do that. You miss something, you will be in trouble. Correct? So 2 hours of meeting. And maybe if you write everything, when will you speak? When will you hear? You can't do that. But problem is, if I miss something, I am in trouble. Customer take advantage of me. So what do? You start a new page and say record audio. One click. Laptop has mic, it automatically pick up the audio. No questions asked. If you just want to check whether the mic is working, go to recording devices, make sure the mic is working. Fine. Done. Now you forget. No need to capture everything. You only take important notes. So now everything so far so good. Now another situation. Let's say you have got a big RFP. I open a big document for you. Big long RFP or requirement document. Now you are reading the document and you have to respond to the RFP. So say this part is difficult, that part I don't know whether we can do, that one we have to check with the project manager, different things. But I don't want to put comments in the document. I want to not disturb that RFP. So what do? Normally I will open this document, I'll create a blank Word document and keep alt tab and keep taking notes. No good. So this is what you do now. You go to OneNote and ask OneNote, I want to take notes. So you have an option called dock to desktop. Now one side become OneNote, other side become Word. Okay, fine. So this is my RFP. I am just reading it. I am just going to go through it a little bit. I am reading. And I say, oh, this one. Remember where we are, limited distribution editions. Now I want to type something about that paragraph. So I will just say understand? Okay, I continue reading. Notice I did not copy paste where, what visibility, paragraph I don't know yet. But I was just there. Then I continue. Sometimes, okay, there is one clause which is very difficult. This is a tricky one. So I want to say done. And I go, there's a table. Do they have this? That's all. So now I finished taking notes. So I close the Word document. I'm closing Word entirely. I'm closing everything. I just go to Word, close it. None of the documents are open right now. Now I finished taking notes, so I'm here. Now these three sentences mean nothing because I lost the correlation. So what do? Notice what happens when you take mouse there. There is a word icon. If you take your cursor and do mouse hover, it shows you that paragraph. Word is closed. And if you click there, it will open that document and put your cursor exactly where it was. Now, that's not all. Wait, this was only cursor. The second one was a paragraph we selected, correct? It selects that paragraph. And third one was in a table with selection. Is that good or bad?
Very good.
Very good.
So now let's say I'm talking about some personal loan. I go to different sites and I say, okay, what does this guy give me? I'm just going to any random page, but just as you. Come on, which one am I connected to? Okay.
Use this page?
Hmm?
How about using this page?
Yeah, sure. I will use this page. This page will not come because I'm changing the Wi-Fi. This is the default page on the gateway. This will not come. It will give you an error, but we can use this as well, no problem. So let's say we are trying to get a fridge from somewhere. Come on, man, connect. Why not? That's okay. I got it. It's okay. Why not? Okay, anybody has tethering? Give me. Okay, you do? Okay. Okay. So now, how did they implement that feature? Tell me. Normally, if you had to do it, you would go to the paragraph, copy something from Word, paste it, and below that you would take to your notes. We didn't do copy, we didn't do paste, we didn't do paste link, nothing. So in link mode, what is OneNote doing? It is looking at the product, which is the active window, finding the bookmark automatically, and keeping a reference of the path plus the bookmark automatically. So internally, it's a simple table. Everything you type in OneNote is an object. So object ID, path, and the bookmark. 3-column table. Simple implementation, but see the benefit of it.
Does that apply to only Word or any application?
So it works with Word and PowerPoint and browser, Internet Explorer, not with Excel. Excel is a different ballgame. PDF file, the protocol is open. Adobe has no interest in implementing it. So as long as it is available, that file can find, it will work. If you change the path or file name, then it will not do. So it's automatic paste link. It's still using OLE, but without wasting your time in going to the OLE dialog. Understand the difference? It's okay, even if it's not there, it's okay. Never mind. Sometimes not having internet is a good thing.
1 minute.
Okay, let me restart my Wi-Fi. So sometimes that is a problem.
Okay.
Which window is it?
Windows. No touch นะ ถูกต้องประเด็นเปลี่ยนวันนี้อะไรเงี้ย
This will not work. I am not authenticated there. It is never going to work.
ต้องต่อเวลาอีกคนทำอินเทอร์เน็ตแท็บ
Ah, it worked.
ถ่ายรูปส่งกันอะไรเลย
Let's see. Okay, so another one. I am trying to buy a fridge. So I go to every page and look at the features and decide this is good, this is bad, something like that. Same situation. You go here, you say dock to desktop. Now we are saying nice. That's all. What did I say? Nice. Then I go to the LG one. Which one do I like? This one. Okay. See, automatically eye icon comes. I finish this. I go here, I remove these pages. Next time I want to know which one is better. Click. Done. The only difference in Word, PowerPoint versus browser, it doesn't take you to the correct area because there is no guaranteed bookmark available in every HTML page. But Word and PowerPoint, very precise bookmark available, so it will take you to that place.
So for the browser, is it will be
Only the page, not the exact area of the page.
is it will be Chrome or
No. Only Microsoft. Okay, now another one.
only will be by E?
So many customers have this problem. It doesn't matter which type of industry you are in, you have some documents which are scanned, agreements, legal documents. You have to sign. Then after that you scan and then put in PDF. Lots of document lying there. Later on there is a problem, I need to search for something in the document. Sometimes you have searchable PDF, but most customer is just a dumb scan. That means every page is a TIFF image, nothing else. So if I want to search for something, I have to scroll, searching for that particular paragraph. No shortcut. So this is what you do. You go to File and say Print. Where do you want to print? Print to OneNote, correct. So if you have OneNote loaded, you will see a virtual printer called OneNote. Just print it. Notice there are 3 pages in the PDF. Now OneNote can have many notebooks, so it will ask you where do you want to print. Right now I am choosing the default current one. So it will add a new page called Printout, and it will have the same 3 pages here. Nothing great happened. There were images, 3 images, even now we have 3 images. Okay, so far nothing great. Now look at the scan. Tell me, is it a good quality scan or a bad quality scan? I zoom in, then tell me. You see, smudge, gray color. Good scan is very good contrast. This is not very good contrast. You see, the font is fuzzy, it's looking blurred. But never mind. How I want to search for something here. What is the shortcut for find? Very good. So Control F, find on page. You see that? Now I'm just typing one character, M. Notice what it did? And it said, I found 55 things starting with M. You want to scroll? I will help you scroll. And if you now that you know this works, you will want more. You will want to get the whole text. So right click and you say, do you want text from this page or all pages? Done. Now you can go anywhere because it's in clipboard now. Go anywhere. Paste. Depending on the scan quality, you will or you may not get perfect results, but it's still better than retyping the whole thing. So what do we have now? This feature is called what? So earlier what we saw was called linked notes, and this feature is called OCR, optical character recognition. So now the idea is, if you have ad hoc information, don't put it in Word, put it in OneNote. Formal document you create in Word or Excel or PowerPoint. OneNote is not competing with Word, Excel, PowerPoint. But there is something which you want to keep, but it doesn't belong really to a formal document. Where do you keep it? OneNote. Understand? So now with that in mind, let's do one thing. Suppose you like OneNote now. You will start using it. Now you go and show off to your team. Very nice. Now when you are taking notes in a minutes of meeting, so there are action points. Action point, right? This is an action point. Remaining sentences, I'm just noting down what he said, what she said. That's just notes, but this is action point. Now, how do I remember this action point? This has to happen day after tomorrow, something like that. So what do you do? Insert a tag. No. This tag is more like a checklist. It doesn't have a timeline. I want to finish it by tomorrow. So you say Outlook tasks tomorrow. So what happens? This guy knows how to talk to Outlook. You go to your task folder now, and if you go to tasks, already there. This is called integration. Now when you mark it as complete, where will you mark it as complete? In OneNote or Outlook? And what do you expect now? Outlook should talk to OneNote now backwards and mark it as complete. If it doesn't, what will happen? Some day later you are trying to read those notes, it will look like you have not finished this work. You get confused. So will it do it or not? What do you think? So will it do? Yes? Okay. So let's go and check. Done. Now wait. Now is this a good demo to give? Impressive? So now I'm sure you will go and try to give this demo to someone, girlfriend, boyfriend, someone. And the problem is your demo will not work. And then everyone will laugh at you. So I will demonstrate again. Notice carefully. What am I doing? Okay. Then what do? Go to Outlook, mark it, then go to Outlook, it comes here, then I mark it in Outlook, come back, it has not happened. Your demo failed. Why did the demo fail? Just now it worked. So what did I do different? Tell me. First time it worked, second time it didn't work, and I told you it is not going to work. So it's not by mistake. I know what is going to happen. So what did I do different first time and second time? I wrote something in OneNote, marked as a task in Outlook, same day tomorrow, it's working, seen in Outlook, I mark it as complete, go back. Exactly same process. Nothing different I did. But second time it didn't work. Come on, quick. I already showed. I told you, listen and see carefully what I did. So now let's go and check. It has happened.
It takes time to think.
Ah, very good. So now tell me, why does it take time? Because when you write in OneNote and then ask, OneNote is trying to programmatically talk to Outlook, correct? How is it going to do it? Correct? Oh man, why can't I type? Where is my OneNote gone? So it will use get object because object called Outlook is already instantiated. I just have to get a pointer to it. Agreed? Now, when Outlook is talking to OneNote, it cannot use get object. It has to search for that through indexing service, find the equivalent context in OneNote and then mark it as complete. That takes a little longer. So OneNote to Outlook is less than a second and Outlook to OneNote takes around 15 seconds. So what is the logic? When you are giving the demo, when you go to Outlook and mark it as complete, do not go immediately to OneNote. Waste time, talk something, then your demo works. Understand? Otherwise you will try the demo, it won't work, you curse me. The demo doesn't work. Okay, never mind. Now, anyway, you like OneNote, you will start using OneNote. Very good. And then what happens? You go and teach it to your team. Let's say a new project is coming up now. What will you do? What will you do then? What is something is wrong with my OneNote? Hold on. Okay, so till now what have we seen? Lot of things in OneNote. Now if you are using it for yourself, you create a notebook for a new project. But suppose you are a part of a team and that team has 10 people. Nobody is using OneNote. What happens today? I am a part of the team. Someone is on site, someone is off site, someone is another location. I need to keep everyone informed what I did. I submit the specs, documents, updates, reports, whatever. So I will send CC of whatever I did, one document, mail, whatever, to 9 people. Other 9 also want to tell the other 9 that they have done something. So they will again send 9 CCs. And the project is going on for 2 months. So how many mails will be there in everyone's inbox now? Tell me quickly. Calculate.
4,860.
So you don't have to do anything. Just press equal to and space bar. There is a built-in calculator inside OneNote. So now, by using OneNote, suppose you teach your team, use OneNote. So now what happened? 10 people team, so you get 10 notebooks. But what I write, other can't see. So again I am still doing the attachment. Earlier the attachment was Word file, now it is OneNote file. Problem is same. And now we have a review meeting with customer. All 10 people in the room plus customer also. And some question comes, everyone is looking at each other. Where is that mail? Where is that report I sent you yesterday? Don't have it, give it on USB. Looks like that or not? So in spite of sending 4,800 mails, everyone is still confused. And what is that called? That confusion is called teamwork. So something is wrong. What is wrong? Even if there is 10 people, project is 1, so you should create 1 notebook, not 10, and share it. So how do you do that? Obviously the answer is what? What is the answer?
File share.
Yes, and how many of you work on SharePoint development, by the way? SharePoint development or SharePoint infra, either way. Okay, so let me show you what happens. The project manager or anybody creates a notebook, but not on local machine, on network. Network could be a file share or SharePoint. So when you create a notebook on SharePoint, you get an offline copy. Send the URL to your team, ask them also connect to OneNote. So everyone has an offline copy. So they can work, update it, no connection required. When you get connectivity, synchronization will be automatic. Nobody is now sending a single mail to anybody about project updates. So we eliminated 4,800 mails in 2 months in a 10 people team, but everyone knows what is happening, provided they read that, but at least they know where to go. No need to search in a complicated inbox. Is it good? Now we have a review meeting still. So now what happens? Everyone comes for the review meeting, and now everyone knows OneNote, and everyone knows every new meeting we create a new page. Now 5 people from the same department, same team, same shared notebook will create 5 pages. Meeting is 1. Problem? So what do? Create 1 page, and everyone will get live refresh of everything which is written there. So everyone writes exactly in the same page. Live. OneNote will do the sync because all of them are on network. It is live sync, 3 or 4 second delay. On LAN, if it's internet based connection, around 9 second delay. That's it. Now maybe one person is somewhere offsite on web application of OneNote, no problem. Still you will get two-way refresh. So that is all built in. No firewall ports to be opened, no special protocols to be managed. Just simple out of the box. Okay, so let's finish OneNote. So now we have one problem. I have been doing this recording for 25 minutes now. In real life, your meeting will be, let's say, 3 hours. And because we know everything is getting recorded, how long will be the audio file? 3 hours. Because everything recorded. And how many notes will you take? Very few notes. Agreed? So we'll stop the recording now. So now we have a 3-hour long audio file and say 20 lines of notes. Now after 6 months there is a problem. Someone is saying this is wrong, what you have written. Now you want to know who was speaking. Have I noted it correctly? So where do I have to go? To the audio file. Audio file is 3 hours long. So how are you going to find that exact spot where that topic was being discussed? I can do play, it will play. One click. Laptop has mic, it automatically picks up. I can say fast forward 10 seconds, 10 minutes, but it is still trial and error, isn't it? It's frustrating to find the exact position. So notice how beautiful this product is. There is a play button here and there is a play button down as well. So notice what happens. Let me go up. So whenever I scroll, wherever I take mouse hover, notice what happens. There is a play button here. So if I click on that play button, it remembers the point in time and plays from there. Action points, right? And just to be sure that you don't miss the exact sentence, it rewinds 5 seconds and plays from there. This is an action point. Remaining sentences, I am just noting down what he said. See this one now, it's towards the end. It's 25 minutes. If I go somewhere in the beginning, your meeting will be, let's say, 3 hours. 13 minutes. You don't have to bother. Earlier what we saw was called, this is called automatic synchronization between notes and audio or video. This will work exactly the same way with video as well. Now from an implementation point of view, what is this internally? If you look at the data structure of this, what does it have, that data? That's it. Are you getting the concept? So as a technical person, one part is use Office efficiently, one part. More important is learn how a great product is made, and then you can use that knowledge much better to make your career better. That is not written anywhere. So we have to finish now, 8:30 already. So I show you last thing in PowerPoint and then we finish. Any questions? Questions? No problem. Any questions? Any request to show a particular feature? Yes. What do you want in PowerPoint? Okay. So PowerPoint has two things. When you go to view, you can see what is called as the slide master. Now when you go to slide master, this is a title type of slide, correct? So by default, first slide is of type title, correct? So I'll just call it title. Second slide onwards, by default, it is of type title and text, or title and content. So here is title and here is content. Now there is another type. There are lots of types. So let's take one more. Now normally what people do is they add the slide and then change the layout. That's not a good idea. When you are adding a new slide, if you click here, it adds new slide based on the previous layout used. But if you know the layout is different, go open the drop down and directly choose the one you want. That saves you one step. Anyway, so this is called 2-column. So we can type something here. So there are multiple such layouts. You can create your own layouts also. Now what is the big deal? Let me just copy this a little. So now we have different slides of different types. If you don't understand anything, you ask. If you don't ask, I assume you know. So how did I make copies so fast? Control drag, control drag. Anywhere in Windows, control drag means copy, remember. Not just Office, Windows. Windows 8, the other part I don't know, the app part, but the normal Windows. Anyway, so now I feel like that the title, wherever there is a title type of slide, it should be in blue color and it should look bigger. Now I have many title slides. I don't want to go one by one and make them look blue and bigger. That is what we do, by the way. So whenever you are working, you have to think, what will I have to do now? Find the title slide, find and change formatting, correct? But that is only one slide. I'll have to repeat that for n number of slides. So now remember, start noticing how you work. You may have a method which is working, but that method is making you do the work again and again and again. So inefficiency means what? Someone in Microsoft has already noticed the problem and given you something for it. So you don't know about it. Otherwise you would have done the better way. So repetition means repetition also means, so the moment you see something repetitive, that means I need to spend little extra time to find the correct way of doing it, so that lifelong I never waste time on that topic again. Now that time you spend on finding it is not a waste, that's an investment, so that you become efficient in future. So what do? In this case you go to View, Slide Master. This is the title slide master. So you go here and change whatever you like. So I'm changing the font size and font color, and this time I'll also change the font itself. Let's make it this one. So now what happens? Everywhere there is a title slide, it is applied. So it's like a class and the instance, inheritance. But it has affected only that layout. So suppose I wanted to show this is comparison. This is bad, this is good. So I want this to have red background and this to have green background. And many such slides I don't want to do here. So go to master, automatically it selects that. Select this guy, put some background. So let's say this one. And here we will put the other one. And now all slides are affected. Now you realize that for whatever reason, you need a slide type very often which has 3 columns. So you are comparing 3 things very often for whatever reason. Microsoft has not given it. I want it. So now what do? We go to master, but there is nothing which is available for 3 types. But there is 2 types. So you right click on this guy and say duplicate it. So your work is a little less. Then you just readjust this guy here and this guy move here and fit it there. Notice the guides, that is new in 2013. It automatically shows you where things are happening. I can select all these, make sure they are nice and correct. Obviously I will want to change this particular color now. So I will change it to something else. Okay, done. Now when I go to my slides, which slide will have this layout? None of them. Correct? Because I created a new layout. I have never created a slide using that layout. So I only have, yeah?
How do we get to the slide master again?
View, Slide master. Slide master. But many people are always in the normal view, correct? View slide master works, but do you know there are these things? These icons everyone knows, correct? So I am in this normal. If I press shift click, it goes to master. Shift click. Shift click, back. Click is normal, shift click is there. And if you press alt click, it goes to outline view. Okay, never mind. Now you know. Now what am I going to do? I already have a slide which is 2 columns and feel like adding a 3rd column. Usually what will you do? You will select this for that slide. Now I'm not going to do that because I already have a layout. So I'll go to layout and say make it 3. So it doesn't disturb anything, gives you what you want. Got the idea? So now our slides are looking very nice. But sometimes what happens, you send this presentation to some other fool who doesn't understand anything in PowerPoint, but they think they are very creative, so they change the layout in that slide, not the master. They don't know master anyway. So they will say, no, this is not looking nice. I will use a better font for you. And then use the worst possible font. Many people have very bad sense of color, so you have seen that. They will put yellow background and white foreground, and they think it looks good. When customer looks at it, they vomit. So never mind, but you can't control it because someone else is doing it. And they say this is bigger, I want this like this, I will give more space for this guy because this is more important. Like this, bold, right align, all sorts of things they have spoiled now. And you get this slide back. Now all your other slides are looking nice and this slide looks very bad. Now you need to make it look like the other ones. File has already been saved, closed, mailed or whatever to you. So undo is not possible. So now what do you do? Let's spoil this guy also. Let's put some fill color. And many people have the habit of using these handwriting type of things, which should never be used in customer context. This is informal, not formal. So now this slide somehow has to be made to look like this slide. And the only method you have now is go here, select the text box, go to Format Painter, then try to come here. Then by the time you are traveling here, you click on the wrong place, then again go and select the Format Painter. Now someone may think we already have a layout called 2 column. If I apply the layout, maybe it will work. But it doesn't, because already PowerPoint knows that layout is applied. But PowerPoint also knows that on top of the layout based formatting, which has already got inherited from master, user has done manual formatting. Now whatever user does, however stupid it is, the software can't change it. So it doesn't touch it. So that's why Microsoft needs permission from you to override what stupidity has happened manually. So that permission you give by clicking this button called reset. One button and you're back to normal. And this option is available for 18 years. 18 years. Now, every day. So now that is where every day you go here, correct? Every day. There is a chance that you must have read this button. But because your brain is not looking at it, because you don't want to know Office, you never clicked on it. But you don't even have to click on it. You just stay there for 1 second, tooltip comes. It tells you what it does. Now, even if I do that, even if I tell you that, you will not use it properly. Why? Because suppose you have multiple spoiled slides, what will you do? You will go to each slide and say reset, each slide and say reset. Because you are so happy with reset that you will use reset repeatedly. And what is our basic concept? Repetition means ignorance. There has to be a better way. So what do? Select all. Don't bother. All others are anyway as per layout. So just select all and say reset. Done. Now notice for each slide the layout may be different. It is smart enough to understand what it is doing. So behind the scenes, look at the complexity of programming, but on the front, how simple it is. So because you mentioned PowerPoint, I show you one more. Sometimes you have to show multiple pictures in one slide. So you do insert picture. I put some pictures. Now the problem is all pictures can be inserted, multiple, but it looks like this. You will waste a lot of time, crop, arrange, align. So obviously it's a very bad idea. But because you don't know any other method, you will waste 20 minutes of your precious life doing this. Is this a billable activity? No. Are you going to grow in your job because of that copy, paste and crop? No. Do you have no other better work to do? Of course you have, but unless this is done, you can't proceed. That's how sometimes we just give up, saying, I know what I'm doing is inefficient, but I assume there is no other way. So we just live with it, we give up. So 3,000 developers have spent 25 years developing this product. They are not fools. So everything which is inconvenient to you has already been noticed and acted upon. That's why there are 9,000 features. So now it guaranteed that there is a method. The question is, are you going to take that effort or give up? So now you have to tell me where I should go. Yes. So you go to picture layout and there are so many layouts available. This is on mouse hover. This is called live layout. So on mouse move event, it is actually applying it temporarily to show how it will look. If you don't like any of them, just move out. And then you do this. It's too small, no problem. You readjust. It will readjust the pictures as well. Is that good? Now problem is, suppose you were selling these t-shirts and you are showing your company makes these jersey. Your customer buyer sitting there. You cannot show this. Why? If you want to be the person who is buying 1,000 t-shirts in bulk from you, what do they want to see? The whole thing? Maybe the lower part there is nothing to see, but upper part definitely, round neck, not round neck, collar, what type of collar, that is not seen. Because automatically it took the centered portion of each image and put it. It was convenient but not perfect. Because every different shapes, different sizes. So now I need to show that. So now one more feature. You go, another feature I show you first. So suppose I want to crop only the face. Everyone knows crop. How do you crop? You go from here, then here, then here, and then here. Minimum 4 times you have to do. Boring. And after that also you still adjust. Correct? So now you do it this way. Just do it from anywhere. Just decide how much space you want to allocate. The rest of the picture is still visible. Now you just move whatever you want and click. Isn't that more intuitive and faster? Unfortunately, the bad method called move from here and here and here and here has to work for backward compatibility. If Microsoft said, I gave you a better feature, I am removing the past feature, everyone will sue Microsoft. So backward compatibility is increasing in efficiency. Understand the concept? So now that you know this, we will use that concept here. I click on the picture. Now I go to crop. Notice the rest of the picture is seen. So I just move it down. Now this part has to be done manually because PowerPoint cannot help you. PowerPoint doesn't understand the content of the picture. Fair enough? But now another one. Let's say I have this cow sitting here. And I only want to show the cow. And I want to show that cow not on those hills and grass. I want to show that cow somewhere else, completely different scene. So I have another place I want to put that cow on. So I have this runway. I want to show the cow sitting or standing on the runway for whatever reason. Our cow is behind, so I say send to back, but it still doesn't solve my problem. So what do I do now? I go to Photoshop and then I go and do what? You use that magic wand and then do all sorts of feathering and tolerance and all sorts of things. Eventually you will get it and then copy paste into PowerPoint. But now you go to remove background. This feature, very sophisticated behind the scenes from programming point of view, but very easy for user. So you just click on that. PowerPoint tries to analyze the picture now. I said PowerPoint doesn't understand the content. It does. So it tries to analyze and guess what should be the foreground, what should be the background. It is not perfect, but it attempts. So in this case, notice it did something. It's not perfect. So because it is not perfect, it needs some help from you. So it gives you a small rectangle inside. You use that rectangle to identify what is your area of interest. And then it does it, and you say keep changes. Now this is so simple, but look at the research which went behind this. This is the algorithm which is used behind the scenes. From research, Microsoft Research. Okay, now one more last thing I show you in Excel, and which is based on similar pattern matching. This is pattern matching, by the way. So many times users spend a lot of time in cleaning up data, correct? So let me show you data which needs to be cleaned up. So this is the kind of data which cannot be directly used in a pivot table. Why? Because there is tabular data. I can convert this to pivot table, but then what kind of this data coming from where? Yeah, this is a report, but who made the report? User or developer? User doesn't make such reports. This is a printout kind of report. That's why there is a page header, footer after few rows. So where are these reports made? In Crystal Reports, .NET Report Writer, SSRS, wherever, whatever tool that programmer used. Correct? So now the user doesn't know report writer and all that. They realize that I don't want this area, I want this. So what will they do? Select, delete. Again select, delete. Again select, delete. Understand? Maybe 10 pages, it takes 2 minutes. But 200 pages takes 25 minutes. Waste of their time. But will they ever escalate this problem to the programmer? Will they ever escalate this to IT help desk? No, because they don't think it is a problem, because for 20 years they are doing this, nothing new has happened. But now you are programmers. Now you know how this report was created. How was this report created? It came from some line of business system, correct? It had a database. That database was nice and properly designed. Normalized tables. You asked the user what kind of report you want. Then you figured out which tables required, what is the query required. Then you wrote a query. That query gave you denormalized output. Now you decided that, oh, this needs to be printed. Now printout is not just a denormalized column, column, column. It needs to have something. So you want to report writer. And then you gave two options, print and what? This is how everything in the world happens. Now, everyone thought this is the last step. Nothing has to be done after this. But in reality, what you thought is the end point is the starting point for another report. So as an output, this is okay. As long as you print, look, sign, keep, archive, no problem. But if it is becoming input, this is the worst format in which you can give the data. Agreed? The user doesn't know what is normalization, denormalization, report writer, page header, footer, grouping, subtotals, nothing. They know what I don't like, I remove manually. So as we speak, 1 billion people use Excel. As of now, right now, 500 million are sleeping because they are in darkness. But the remaining 500 million are wasting time removing unwanted rows. And what is the final output they will get after they finish all this? They will get the denormalized version of the data. Agreed? So as a developer, if you have control, write this option separately, write this option separately. What comes out of report writer is going to print. And what goes out of the query output goes as, if every developer changes this simple behavior, you will save millions of man years every day worldwide. Understand the idea? So wherever you have control, do it. Users will thank you for that. But by the way, it doesn't mean that is bad. There is a fast way of cleaning this up also. Unfortunately, users don't know Excel. So what do? Basically, when we are deciding which row to delete and which row to keep, our brain is looking at the pattern and finding out what looks good, what doesn't look good. But because brain is so good at it, we don't consciously know what is the pattern. So you have to think, what is our brain looking at? So if you analyze a little, you'll say, is column A helping me there? No. Column B is empty. Column C is almost empty. Column D is helping me. So scroll and check your hypothesis. Yes, wherever there is nothing in column D, I don't want the row. That seems to be the logic. Now that we know the logic, earlier we didn't know the logic. We were just doing it. What was Excel aware of? Excel, you said select these, Excel has to select. You said delete, Excel has to delete. Excel didn't know why you are selecting, why you are deleting. So the situation looked like this. What was the situation? The situation is, who is helping whom? Correct? Many times while you are working on Office, you will realize that you are helping Word, you are helping PowerPoint. The idea is not that. You are not born to help PowerPoint or Excel. Correct? Excel. So whenever you notice you helping Office, that means ignorance. You have to find a better way. That is inefficiency. So what is the inefficiency? We are not telling the logic to Excel. So what do? Now we know the logic. Select column D. Then there is a special feature here called go to special and say blanks. So Excel now only selects blanks in that column. Now say right click, delete entire row. Now it doesn't matter how large the data is. I cleaned it in few steps. And now whether there are 10 pages to be cleaned or 2000 pages to be cleaned, my effort has not increased. That is how you determine that your new method is good. So, although it is a developer level problem, users could have solved it. The idea is to find the pattern. You will typically find at least one column which is the key column, so to say. If there is empty here, I don't want it. But you don't want to waste time selecting empty manually. Same time, whether you select rows or cells, same time going waste. So dirty work should be outsourced. Dirty work should be outsourced to whom? Word, Excel, PowerPoint, so that your brain is free to do good work. That is called efficiency. So we select the whole column and then tell Excel, I will tell you, go and select only the blank cells in that column. So it selects all the blank cells. And then you right click and say delete entire row. Clean. Now there are unwanted columns also. This method works horizontally also. Select, go to special blanks again, and this time you say delete entire column. Clean. This data is from an ERP software. Which one also probably some of you will have realized. This is SAP. So all line of business applications increase the manual work of users because of this reason. Reports are never in the format which are directly usable by Excel. So export to Excel means denormalize query output, remember. Now Microsoft realized that although this can be done, there are special cases where no amount of manual work can be eliminated. It has to be done. For example, look at this one. I have comma delimited. I want two columns. Everyone knows there is a feature in Excel called text to columns. You just split it with a delimiter. But Microsoft said, why do you want to waste time? You got this. You just tell me what you want. And then I will do it for you. Flash fill. So how does this work? You give one example and then ask Excel to check what was the input, what do I want, what is the difference between the two, match the pattern, apply the same logic to rest of the rows. That is called flash fill. Oh man, you have to go. So Control E is the shortcut. Wow. This also requires very complex algorithm. Internally this is called regular expressions. It has to evolve multiple regular expressions, find the optimal one and do it. But in this case there was only one pattern. Let's look at a complex one where there is no pattern. Look at this. I do have text and number now, but there is 1, 2, 3 spaces. Here there is one space and contiguous 3 spaces. Here there is only one space, no pattern. So text to column will never work here. This guy understands what you are doing. So this whole thing is based on again Microsoft research. So just to show you, now look at this number. Different variations. For each variation the pattern is different. So this guy is not just one pattern, it understands multiple patterns and does it iteratively and does the job. So this is called flash fill. And the other problem we have is, let's say I go to browser. Very often people go to reports. Reports are in a browser, your web page rendering. They copy paste into Excel and then a lot of unnecessary thing comes. Formatting comes, tables, JavaScript icons, images. They spend half the time cleaning that now. So I don't have a line of business application. I show you one web page. Okay, just go here. Some article. So I have this. Now suppose I decide to copy this and paste it. See how bad my life will be. I'm just copying few rows. Let me remove everything in Excel. I have too many things open. So when I copy paste into Excel, it is going to paste it as HTML and try to preserve the formatting, which is not what I really wanted. It will also take a long time to paste it, and it's a nightmare. So you'll spend too much time removing hyperlinks, applets, pictures, all sorts of things. Now even if you decide to select or remove pictures, notice the problem. The picture itself is a hyperlink. So if you try to click on the picture to remove it, it will start browser and go to hyperlink. So suppose you have this problem, how do you solve it? Tell me. I have multiple pictures to remove. So what do? Don't click, right click. Obviously right click will give you the right click menu, but we just right click because right click doesn't invoke URL. The menu is irrelevant. How do you get rid of any menu in Windows? Just by pressing Alt key. If you just press and release Alt key, all open menus go away in any version of Windows. So we removed it. But now we have selected only one picture. I want to select all pictures. So Control A works now. Everyone knows Control A is select all, but you would not have thought of using it when the context had changed from a cell to an object. Now all objects can be deleted in one stroke. 22 years, nobody knows. But never mind, it's still a painful exercise. So now Microsoft created a new product called Power Query for such things. So you go to Power Query and then say I want to do online search. It will open a mini browser here. That's all. It's just a task pane kind of thing. What do you want to search for? List of cities by population. Exactly same thing. So it gives you the search results here. You don't have to go to the browser. Again, you'll have to check which one is correct, which one has tabular data, which one do I want. So even in the browser, results don't show you what are the content inside. You have to click here, there, and then you say, oh, this is the one, trial and error. Now look at this guy, how smart it is. I'm just taking my mouse cursor there. It has already done the job for you.
Whoa.
Isn't that brilliant? Now I like this one, for example. Okay, I click on it and say I'm still not exactly what I want. Let me edit further. So it'll do the job, talk to the page, clean it up, get you the data. But it's still in edit mode. So what is it saying? This rank I don't want, so I remove it. It's easy. I could have done that after importing the data also, of course, but I'm doing it now. Why am I doing it? Because it's going to remember my step. If I had done it in Excel, it is my job now. Excel is not helping me. Now Excel is helping me because next time the page refreshes, it's going to automatically remove this guy. Now notice this population. Do you think it's a number or text? Anything which is left aligned is text. Anything which is right aligned is number in Excel, remember. So this is text. Now what would you do? Get it in Excel, then search, replace commas, some stupid thing like that. People spend entire life doing such things. So now you right click here and say change type to what? Number. So it will do the job. Change type, and this is all a language. This language is called M. M, not MDX, just M. It's a new language. New means it's an old language revived for this kind of Power Query ETL purpose. So now I am happy. I don't want this key, so I can say remove. And now I have a choice. Do I want to load it into Power Pivot or do I want to load it in normal Excel file? Because if this is very large data, more than 1 million rows, anyway it's not going to fit in Excel and file size is going to increase. So might as well put it directly in the Power Pivot. But right now it's small, so I'm just going to put it in Excel. And now we will put it in Excel. Next time, if assume the web page is dynamic, I just have to say refresh. It is going to do all that what we did and clean it. Now that we have got this data, maybe I want to map it. So I go to insert. We have Power View based map or a 3D map. Which one do you want to see? 2D or 3D? 3D. So that's a new add-in. under Power BI that is called Power Map. You can load it on 2010 or 13. 2010 must be Pro version, all Pro versions. So I just go to COM add-ins. I've already installed it. That's called Power Map. So now it adds a new map functionality here. What does it give you now? It gives you this. Requires an internet connection. Hopefully it will work. So it opens a separate window and gives you something. It gives you a map. You can move around, you can zoom in, zoom out. Now notice it has already detected geographical columns called city and country. So let's say I don't want country right now. So I just say just show me city, or I only want country. Okay, no problem. It has plotted the countries. Now our next step, I want to plot the population. So we say what is population? I want to just drag and drop. So this has become population now. I can move it around. This full-fledged GIS system. You want map labels, you can put that. Now notice how you can show this. This is only the country. If I say city, it will draw for each city differently. Now this is one way of doing it. Let me show. Sorry, it's not city, population, country. So if I say country, it will be like this. If I say city, it will be more. But let's keep it at country right now. And then I can choose, this should be a column chart or a bubble chart or a heat map or a region. Now because it's a country, it understands regional boundaries also. Now, right now I don't have any other data to plot. So let me add one column here. Let's say I'm seeing country-based revenue. And then I want to, or let's say I will just type some number here. Okay, now if I refresh this guy, it will understand that one more thing has been added. So now if I want to plot this as a column chart based on the population, and along with that I want to show revenue. Now notice what's happening. Both of them are getting mixed up. I want to show them side by side. So I remove this revenue and I can add another layer. So you can have multiple layers going on. In this also I keep it to country. In the next step, this time I put revenue, and now you will see both of them side by side. You can see one as bar, one as bubble, no problem. And then you can say, okay, my head office is here. I want to start showing this one. Then I want to go and add another scene where I want to go to the other part of the world. Then I want to add another scene, and then I want to show the third location. Now we have created 3 scenes. And then you can control how long you want to show each scene, which special effect will be seen. These are the different special effects. And you can change the level of zoom as well. You can change the effect speed. So let's say I zoom in like this. And now you say play the tour. So it will actually play this in 3D with your parameters.
Is it exportable to
finally you create a video. Okay, so let's finish now. I think everyone has to go home. So bottom line, last two summary slide, we finish. Okay. So now, when you start your career, you start somewhere small and then you grow. So in your life, many things change. What can change? Your company changes, right? What else can change? Your designation changes. Your salary changes. Your house changes. Your husband, wife also changes nowadays. There is one thing which is not going to change. Whatever you do, you are going to use office. So you have to use it properly. Because if you don't, it is slowing down your growth. And if you use it well, nobody else knows office. So you are better. So you grow faster. So even if you are expert in your field, knowing office will make you successful faster. More successful and faster. So office is the catalyst. So today you saw what we do. When we look at things, we just ignore them. That is why you are inefficient. And how to become efficient? I am not saying attend training programs, read books, nothing. Just start exploring while you are working. When you explore, you will learn. I show you how easy it is. Once you know the purpose behind it, you will know, oh, this is where I'll apply it. Once you do that, you will become good. Then people around you are bad. So now you have a choice. Do you want to teach them or keep quiet? So what do you think? Why share? You are better, they are bad. So good for you. The problem is you are not working as a one-man show. You are in a team. So even if you are efficient, others are inefficient, you are still inefficient. So out of pity, at least you have to teach it to them. But don't teach it for free. When you share, you charge for it. So what do you want to charge? Many things you can charge as whatever. But the best way of charging is realize that there are 9,000 things to be learned. You can't do it alone. So you say, you learn home tab, I learn insert tab, you learn design tab, she learns all the smart art, and then teach each other. So if you want to share something with people, what is the return thing? They share something with you. So divide the work and then everyone grows faster. That is the purpose of office. So if you want to learn more and you want some incentive for that, you can read my blog. I write one article every day on Office and SharePoint. And you can have further more videos also as here. Okay, so that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.